Welcome back, everybody, to a new survival Minecraft. Today I want to show you some more of my build around my world. Check this out. I have been modifying my village like crazy, and there's several reasons why, and I'll try to get to every reason one by one. Right now, let's go down and take a closer look at some of the buildings. Whee! Ooh, that gets exciting every time I do that. All right, run around here. Remember last week we visited the Nether, where I built a very nice Nether hub. If you remember this building here, this is my chicken shack. I finally replaced all the wood so that the lava would not catch it on fire. And right here in this building, this used to be our first temporary base. I've now turned it into a slaughterhouse. If you come in here, you can see it's a butcher's. All right, we've got some cows ready for slaughter. Looks like we haven't cleaned up any of the blood splatter from before. But in this chest here, we're going to grab some wheat. We're going to go upstairs to the attic where we keep all of our cows. And we're going to feed our cows. All right. And the cows are going to do their thing. Look at all the hearts. They just love it up here. I can tell you what. All right. Come down here and put the rest of our wheat away. Now, I've got a little indentation right here so that we can gather up all of our experience. There's water right there that pushes all the babies down into here. And then when they become adults, we send them to slaughter. And then all the beef, all the leather goes into some hoppers, and we collect them down here. And I don't ever have to worry about trying to get enough leather for my picture frames, my maps, my books, whatever I need. All right, so that is our slaughterhouse. I do plan on putting a villager back here to mine the store, but that is a future project. In fact, because I started modifying all these homes, I modified this home, which used to be where the chicken coop was. This was the backyard, and where I had all the chickens. I turned it into a regular house because I'm digging the way all of these houses can be modified for some sort of storefront. And, well, that was 3 houses that I modified. I was like, well, let's modify the church. Because, be honest, the church is way too small for anything. But if you widen it out a little bit, it's actually a church. We've got our pews, we've got our pulpit, we've got our choir, which I haven't got my choir yet. We've got our stained glass. And it's kind of hard to see, but from the back, if you look at the stained glass, can you tell what it is? I know it's kind of hard. You got to use your imagination and squint real hard, but that's an Ender Eye. That's the Church of the Ender Eye, Church of the All-Seeing Eye, not to be confused with the Lord of the Rings. But anyway, I liked modifying this village. Now, as I was modifying my church, I was out here and I got chased by a chicken jockey. Literally chased because I was not prepared for it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to run. They are fast. He eventually chased me all the way back to my house, where I got to thinking, well, in the village, you have these 2-story houses that have like a little lookout up top. So I actually, it was over there at the time, but I ran inside, went up the ladder, and then dropped sand down in front of the door, and I caught me a chicken jockey. I was like, man, that is just too cool. So I went to go get some armor for it to wear, and wouldn't you know, when I went back to the house, I made the mistake of going to sleep. And because I did not give my chicken jockey anything to carry, he despawned. But it gave me an idea for a zombie capture house. All right, so I modified this really nice house right here on the corner to where at night, if I'm being chased by a zombie villager, I can run in here, run up the ladder real quick, and then pull the lever. And that closes the door, and they can't get out. Then all I have to do is drop down some potions of weakness, hit them with a golden apple, bam, I've caught me a villager. And I've already caught 2 villagers, but I've got a sad story about that. The first villager, believe it or not, was a cleric. So I hooked up some mine carts, and I pushed that sucker all the way up here to the pulpit, and I had a cleric back here that I was actually trading with. I traded him some zombie flesh for some emeralds, started collecting some emeralds, and I was just having a good old time. But I made a mistake. I did not realize that the stained glass, because of its thickness, is almost as if it's transparent or non-existent. So, as my cleric was standing next to the stained glass, a zombie came up, poked his arms through, turned my cleric back into a zombie. Once again, he wasn't carrying anything. He despawned on me. So I tried again. I got me another zombie villager. Caught him in this new house here. He was a farmer, and he did pretty good for a while. I let him into my wheat field here, and he picked and harvested wheat for a couple of days. Zombies tried to attack him, but the fences kept the zombies out, so he was okay. But he decided to leave the field because there's pressure plates there, and just walked right on out. And he ran into this building right here to hide. But for some reason, I don't know why, villagers like to stand right here and look at the zombies. Well, what do I have a habit of doing? Pressure plates. So the villager walks up to the door opens, he lets in all the zombies. So I've gone back and I have removed all the pressure plates that I used to have because villagers are stupid. Now, because of the problem with the village, the villagers, the zombies, I've got no villagers. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to remodel the entire village. I like the 9x11, so I mapped out a huge area of 9x11 buildings, and I'm going to turn these into fortified buildings with no pressure plates. I'm going to actually trap the villagers behind a counter so they'll stay away from the door, and I'm going to actually fence off, wall off, cement block, just like these right here, all the way around, and make sure it's very, very well lit. I am tired of my villagers getting attacked and dying. So that's a huge project I'm working on. I'm just mapping it out right now. All right, another big project. Ta-da! Ooh, look at that. You know, I know you guys probably wish I recorded as I made these things, but I am not very good at building, and it would be a very boring episode. But if you remember, I had a mob spawner back here. Skeleton, to be exact. and I turned it into a grinder. Now it works pretty good. It's just a simple 9x9. They drop into the water. It goes down below. They come out right here. It's a water elevator out the back. And then of course I have a back door to the top of the hill. So it goes back for quite a ways. But I think it fits pretty nice into the landscape. But skeletons come up, they get washed down, and then they drop exactly 21 blocks. Now, in theory, that will pretty much knock them down to half a heart. There's a problem with that. One, if for some reason they start losing health in the water elevator, they're going to just drop and die. Two, if they're wearing armor, they're going to drop, and it's going to take more than one punch to kill them. So the 21 block is a guideline. It's an average. It's not perfect. Now, if I don't feel like punching them, I can just go ahead and do the slaughterhouse method and just kill them that way. If for some reason I'm getting way too many bows, armors, or arrows, I've got my garbage disposal over here. I can just get rid of them. There's one. Die. And I've got my grinder. Now, I am using an update that just came out that I don't know if it was Jeb or Dinnerbone or who at Mojang. They have decided that grinders are bad for the game. They've nerfed the Iron Golem farms, they've nerfed the Pigman Gold farms, and I think they've even nerfed a lot of these mob grinders. Because, according to the wiki, a grinder will spawn as long as a player is here. However, now in this new snapshot, I'm lucky to get a dozen. If you look at the entities, it says 5. That's it. It just will not spawn hundreds and hundreds of mobs. So, I don't know. Before, I used to be able to AFK, let them build up, throw a potion at them, and kill them all at the same time. But now I actually have to stand here and kill them as they come out in order for them to keep spawning. But, let me out. Alright, but anyway, that's my my mob grinder. And yes, there is a horse up there because the roof goes flush with the ground. He jumped up on the roof, fell off, got stuck on the ledge, and basically he's just guarding over the place. Okay, the last thing I want to show you real quick is my actual farms. Oh, I built a bridge. Since I was expanding my village, it just coincidentally ended up over here in the corner, which was, I guess you could call it the closest point to the desert. So I thought, you know what? That's the direction of all the hardened clay, and I can never get my horses across the river, so I just made a bridge. All right, all my farms. My pumpkin, my melons. Back there I've got my cactus. I moved my maps forward a little bit. You're probably wondering where my map is at. When one of the snapshots came out with the picture frames that actually sent a redstone signal, it barfed all the standard picture frames and they all popped off. Now, in my storage room, where I started putting all the picture frames on my chests, I caught that in time to where I picked them all up, put them all back up, totally forgot about my maps. So not only did they pop off, they popped off and despawned. I will probably go into creative mode to put them back up. However, when I try to put the map back up, it doesn't render correctly. As of this morning, there's a new snapshot that was fixed. I just haven't gone back into creative yet. Okay, you've seen my wheat fields. There's my sugar cane / paper. I never use it for sugar. I'll use it for paper. Then I have my carrots and I have my potatoes. So I've got a very nice little farm setup. Now you're probably wondering, why in the world do I have fences around every one of my farms? It's just a force of habit. I've been playing Minecraft ever since animals could trample the wheat just by walking across it. So I always put fences around it to keep the animals out. Now that you can't really trample on the wheat just by walking, I might get rid of it because villagers now harvest wheat. Well, if I got a fence around it, they can't get to it. So it's now counterproductive to have the fence. I put this here to try and keep zombies away from the stained glass. We'll see if that works. I don't know. I'm hoping. If it still don't work, I don't know, do something with the stained glass. All right, that's about all I had to show you for today. I know it's a lot all at once for such a short video, but I actually enjoy just building and mining and crafting rather than talking or recording. So my recordings are very, very short and my builds are very, very long. But hopefully you're enjoying the tours that I give, where I walk around and show you my updates. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. I do reply. I really appreciate you watching. Share this with your friends. And I'll see you all next time.